Okay, my name is Unjara Njama, and I am the conversationalist, like I like to call myself. Thank you for joining my live session. It is super exciting to know that you out there are finding this very, very interesting and helpful. So, welcome to the Feel Good session. If you are here, I'm pretty sure that you are either in search of feeling good or you want to continue to feel good. So either of these two, you are welcome. And this session, by the time we are done, you are going to feel many things, much more than just feeling good. So sit tight and let us go right away. Now, how did you wake up this morning, if I may ask you? Or rather, when you woke up, what was the first feeling you had? What were the first things you thought about? What did you think about? Can you recall? Well, even if you cannot recall, let me just say this. There's going to be two exercises that we are going to do. And the purpose of this exercise is to help us better understand what feelings are and how to better articulate our feelings, if there's anything like that. So, may I invite you to partake in the first exercise with me? Think about 3 or 4 things that are terribly bad that has ever happened to you, or 4 things that you are afraid will ever happen to you in your lifetime. Think about it. Make a mental list of it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm waiting for some people to think about it. Some of us is just at the tip of our fingers we have it, but many of us we have to okay. So I know all of us have those 4 things now. Then close your eyes. I don't mean you should literally close your eyes if you don't want to. You can close the minds of your eyes and just ponder about those 4 things for less than 30 minutes or 30 seconds rather. It could be when you lost your job. It could be when somebody you loved died. It could be when someone you were in a relationship just stood up and left you. It could be any bad thing. Are you thinking about it? It could be when you were trying to even connect to this live session and your phone just went off. It could be anything, but something that you consider to be bad. Okay then. So we have considered these 4 things as bad. The question then is, how did you feel when you were thinking and considering and pondering about these 4 things that you think is bad? Well, I personally was feeling disempowered. I felt down. I felt bad, sad. I felt, stuck, like there's nothing really I can do to change my situation. You might be wondering, but Unjara, this is supposed to be a feel-good session. Why are you asking us to feel bad? Hold on, don't worry. Like I said, it is just an exercise, and there are 2. We just did 1. So let's consider the second exercise. Still the same thing, but this time around, you're going to think about 4 things that genuinely makes you feel good about yourself. I mean, what are the things that you would think about? It could be something that has happened to you. It could be something that is yet to happen. It could be anything. What is that thing that makes you feel empowered about yourself? Do you have your list? Then let's go. Close your eyes and visualize how you feel when you think about those things, when you consider those things, when those things are overwhelming you and overtaking you and being everything you want to be. For me, I'm thinking about that time that somebody dashed me money. How I felt so good. I also think about, when I went shopping. Those new set of shoes. I've pictured how and when I'm going to wear them and rock them. Futuristically speaking, I'm thinking about how the talk office is going to go viral and literally change the coaching industry in the world. So, when you were thinking about these empowering thoughts, when you were thinking about these good things, how do you feel? For me, I felt on top of the world. I felt I could take on any challenge and be good at it. I felt empowered. I felt enabled when I was thinking about those happy thoughts. Now, the essence of this exercise is to create a connection, an understanding of what feelings are. If you go to the dictionary, if you go online to search for what feeling is, the meaning of it, there are thousands of things that you're going to find out. But one thing that they all have in common is the fact that feeling is emotionally based or emotionally triggered. It's an emotion. It is neither here nor there. And as you would have thought, and as you would have considered from the exercise that we just did, feelings are not static. Feelings are not reliable. Feelings are not who we are. Feelings are not determined by facts. Feelings are just feelings. A lot of times, especially even in the coaching industry, counseling industry, and therapy and all that, they like to create an impression that feelings are bad. And in fact, most helping profession live and thrive on this, that feeling it is bad for you to feel. But no, feelings are just feelings. So the question then is, why should you live your life based on just feelings when they are inconsistent? When in just one moment you can feel high and in the next moment you can feel low? Does that in itself determine your reality? I would think that the answer is no, because it is a swindling, like a pendulum. It goes up and comes down, goes up and comes down. It is just how it is. So if feelings are not reliable, if feelings cannot be trusted, if feelings are not what they seem to be, rather, they are just the perception of what reality could be. And if feelings are not what we should base our lives as individuals, then Indra, what is it? Okay, feelings are bad. What then should we base our life experience on? Now, like I said, coaching is not necessarily about telling you what you should or what you shouldn't do. That's not what the Talk Office is about. And I hope this resonates with us, even as we go on this journey of discovering what it is that feeling good genuinely means. So, if feelings are bad, can we consider faith as a basis upon which to, grow our reality on? Faith is a good word, right? Faith is good. We are all men and women of faith. We go to church and mosque, we pray and everything. But this discussion is not necessarily about your faith in God as much as it is about your faith in the expectation of your future. So we're not talking about religious faith here. We're not talking about, the prayer warrior, the casting and binding kind of faith. We're talking more about the faith in the future. Faith is better, I think, that we can have an expectation of the future. And you would not be surprised to know that 99% of the time, all of our lives' decision and expectations are based on faith. The reason why you decided to go for that job is because you thought at some point that it is going to bring you closer to your career goals. The reason why you will probably marry a man or a woman is because you consider them to be that kind of person that you want to spend your life with. The reason why you would join this live session is because you would think that at the end of it, you should be able to get something. Faith. So, if faith is that thing that we should base our life in, how come most of us lose faith somehow? How come? If faith is so fantastic, how come at some point of our lives we are caught up in the fact that our lives didn't go as well as we had planned that it will? Faith, to a large extent, is an expectation of something that is yet to come. And the truth is that that expectation could be cut short, or that expectation will be met with a different reality that we live in. So what then? What happens then? How then should we live? What then should our reality be based on, if not faith? Let me tell you a story of a guy who is a man of faith, goes to church, does everything he's supposed to do. He prays when he's supposed to do. He is a man of faith, and he believes in the future. And for him, his expectation of the future is that he is going to be married to a church girl. Now, mid-20s, did not meet a church girl. He's getting to his 30s. He didn't meet a church girl. He's getting to his 40s. He still didn't meet a church girl. And then he becomes depressed. He is a man of faith. His expectation of what his future should be has been met with a lot of pounding. And many of us are in these shoes right now. Our faith has been dealt with series of blows. And so we are now in a situation whereby we have fallen back to depending on our feelings, because faith is no longer there. So we are feeling, this future is not as we thought it is going to be. And then we are depending on our emotions again. And then it means that we are only a fickle away from being just an emotional being and nothing more. What I have come to realize is that many a times what we have problem with is the fact that the things that we perceive to be real, the things that we expect our future to be, the things that we anticipate are not the things that happen to us. We are almost hardly ever, unhappy with the way things turn out. But we are always unhappy with, this was not what I expected it to be. And it turned out this way, so maybe not. So, you might be wondering, Ujara, what are you saying? Feelings? Definitely not. But faith looks reliable, right? When we talked about feeling, we said it was going up in a circle and down and all that. How about faith? Faith is a little bit stable, because it starts like, you have faith, you're going to be rich, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And then you get to that future where you were expecting it to happen and it doesn't happen. And your faith goes down and you're down below, and then something happens again and it goes up, and then you believe in it. And that also might not be a reliable way to base your reality on, or your expectation of what life is, or base who you are as a person. So, Ndwara, it is not faith. It is not feeling. What then is it? What should or who should I be? Or what should greatly influence me? Or how should I be influenced? You're asking. Like I said again, coaching is not necessarily telling you what you should do or what you shouldn't do. It is about exposing those innate areas that you must have, maybe ignored. For a long time, I have been a woman of faith, if I can say that. I think I have based my life mainly on faith. And I know a lot of us have. Faith is good, but that is not all there is. There is much more than just faith. Even the Bible has recorded that faith without work, of course, is dead. And I know so many other religions also acknowledges that. So, this is supposed to be a feel-good session. Why am I not feeling good, you're asking yourself. The reason you're not feeling good is because your perception of what things should be or what things should look like is being met with a harsh reality just right in front of you. And you are wondering, how is this possible? Don't make a decision yet, because there's still one more factor to consider. May I invite you to consider facts. I know for lawyers, facts are facts. In fact, we always crave to deal with just facts. and not circumstances of the truth, nothing, but pure fact. How about you base your life on the truth of who you are and the truth of who you're not? You'll be asking, so this girl have gone, what kind of truth of who I am? But who I am is made up of my feelings, my emotions, and all of that. Yes, true. But it is not dependent on just that. Many of us are living our lives strictly based on emotions. And let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen or have you ever known an emotional person? Somebody who is driven strictly by just his emotion or her emotions. They're always happy, they're always sad, they're always this, they're always that. Okay, if that is not relatable, how about an emotional boss? Your boss in the office is an emotional person. How hard do you try to pamper their egos and, just keep pampering their emotions to make sure that they don't explode? And once they do, it is to your detriment. Now, looking at that, can you trust that kind of a person with taking your life's decisions? Somebody that just reacts on anything and everything. Can you trust them? How then do you think you can live only and purely by being an emotional being and take the right and best decisions for yourself towards your goal of being fulfilled in life? If you're just going to react based on everything, if you're just going to react based on emotion, if your emotions are triggered by what you are thinking about at the moment, and what you are thinking about obviously can be anything, and then you become somebody that is just based on feeling. Every time somebody calls you, oh, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. Just because you're thinking about something that wasn't good at the moment. You can say you want to base it on faith. But the truth about faith is that sometimes and most times it helps us not to do anything about the things that we want to change in our lives. We just have faith that is going to change. Somebody, somewhere, some knight in shining armor will come and rescue us. We just have that faith. And because we are so triggered by the faith, we're so driven by faith, we are unable to make those decisions that should cause the change that we want to see. I know that a lot of us have fantastic quotes about life, about change, about happiness, about goodness, about every aspect of life. I, for one, have experienced that firsthand. I have the best quotes. I have the best captions. I have it all. But looking into my life, I wasn't seeing those changes that I had professed. And I began to ask the questions. Why? If this session doesn't do anything for you, it should ask the question, why? Why are things the way they are for me? Why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting that? Because until you begin to ask those questions, it only means that you have not internalized enough for you to become the next person or the next phase of your life or the next big thing of your life. So, faith. We all have faith, but we cannot just be based on faith. I present to you fact. Fact of who you are. Fact of the truth of who you are. Fact of the truth of who you are not. You are definitely not everything. You are definitely not one thing. And you are not a static thing as a fact. Who you are is constantly being molded and shaped by everything that happens to you. The days that you had highs, of course. The days that you had lows, of course. The days that things are well. The things that things are not well. The reality of who you are. That is the fact of who you are. I consider myself having a great voice. I've gotten compliments, yes. But I don't consider myself a good singer. It's the reality of who I am. I could become the next greatest singer this world has ever known. Yes, it's possible. But right now, that's not where I am. I am aware of it. So walking in your fact basically opens your eyes to self-regulating. And that is where the feeling good actually comes. to self-regulate. 99% of us, both adults and young people, we do not self-regulate well. We want things to be the way they are, and if they are not the way they are, it means something is wrong, something is bad. We have quotes to help us. When the quotes are not there, we must self-regulate. Because like I said, who you are as a person is not just this one thing. You are not just Lugard, tall, black, slim, childish, fun. No, it keeps changing. And everyone in life has its journey that it's going. Everyone has. And nobody's journey is undermined. Nobody's journey is better than the other person's. Nobody's journey is more fantastic. We all are trying to define our own realities using the resources that we have available to us. So, I invite you to consider self-regulating based on fact. That you failed once, does that make you a failure? Think about it. That you messed up once, does that make you a messed up person? That somebody thinks of you as a messed up person, does that make you a messed up person? Now, you might not be able to answer all these questions because you have not really considered the fact of who you are. So if you don't take anything from this session, let this be one of the things that you take. That there is the fact of who you are and who you're not. Figure it out. Find that person that who you are. I don't know how. Well, maybe I know how. But you can find that person. I never want this our sessions to be a motivational speech about how the world is going to know. I want our session to be a breakthrough speech or a breakthrough session where you can take back the powers in your hands and be whatever you want to be. It is not that I'm not telling you that, okay, because you are now self-regulating, you are now in the reality of who you are. It doesn't mean you won't feel sad. Of course you will feel sad. Somebody does something that warrants you to feel sad, you could feel sad. You can just feel sad for no reason. Of course you're going to feel happy as well. For no reason. You can just be as excited as I am for just no reason. But you are self-aware to the point that whether you're sad or not, that's not who you are. Whether you are rich or not, that's not just who you are. Self-regulating, in fact. That is the message. And at this point in time, for those of you that joined just because you want me to give you this good speech about feeling happy, 10 steps to getting happy, or 20 steps to becoming happy, or 1,000 steps to how to live a good life, I am not sorry. I am not sorry that I am sharing with you this truth. Like I said, we are 99% of the people that seek help, that seek coaching and counseling and therapy and all of that. Their problem has always been the fact that their expectation of what reality should be is met with something else. Somebody pulls a wild card all of a sudden, and then you hear things like, she has changed. He has changed. This is not what I thought. This is not what I expected. This is not how life is supposed to be. This is not who we... Then we come up with excuses. We come up with rationales why things are not the way that we anticipated them to be. Our perception of reality. I've never heard anybody that is quarreling with the way things are. Even most of us that like to call ourselves realists, we are hardly aware of the reality. Oh, I'm a realist. I like living in the real. We are only consumed by the philosophy of reality. But today I welcome you to an experience of a lifetime. It is not going to be just about, quick fix. Imagine how long it took you to get to this point. Imagine how long, how many years, how many hours it took you to become this person that you are today. That will give you a sense of understanding of how much more time you need to dwell on yourself just to become that person that you want to be. It's just the truth of who we are. Nothing more, nothing else. Let me share a story with you as I round up. A couple of weeks back, I posted a clip on the Talk Office on Twitter, and a lady calls me and she says she was dating this guy before, but her parents didn't want her to date the guy. The guy, of course, she loves him, they want to be together, but her family doesn't see the guy in that light. So her family goes ahead and gets another guy for her. So guy B now, she didn't want to disappoint her parents, her family. She didn't want them to feel bad. So she just played along. She would talk to the guy normal, this kind of perceived relationship. Exactly. So she was in a relationship with the guy. That's the new guy. So she goes home during this pandemic, and her parents encourage her to, why don't you go visit this guy? He's been around, he's been asking of you. Go see him and let's see how this goes. So she goes there, and in the process, the guy rapes her. That was not just for her. It was terrible. It was bad. She didn't know what to do, but she summoned courage to talk to her parents about it. And that was for her a breaking point. Because her parents told her, this cannot be termed rape because the guy is going to get married to you anyway, so what's the big deal? And so she calls me to tell me she wants to take her life. And I asked her why. And she said because this guy raped her. So I asked her, is this the only thing that has happened to you in your life? She was quiet for a minute, but then she responds. And she says, no, that's not the only thing. I said, can you point one or two good things that's ever happened to you? And she pointed 2 or 3. And immediately I could feel her mood being lifted. And so I asked her, why then do you want to base your entire being on just one thing that has happened and not on the many several things that has happened in your life? So she smiles. And she says, you know what? You have a point. The essence of this experience is to open our eyes to how we allow ourselves to be dragged into feeling good or feeling bad by either other people, other things, or other situations. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not hard. I feel bad too because of some people. I'll just be angry. I mean, why do you do that? But with consistency, we will all get there. I want to appreciate everybody that has stayed through the session. I don't know how to express how grateful I am that I have this opportunity to, share with you basically everything that you already know, but the mere fact that I'm on this side and you're on this side even makes it more special. So I want to thank you. I want to also encourage you to get to know what the Talk Office is about. You can send us a message. You can, chat me up. Our official lines are everywhere. You can always call to find out what the Talk Office is about. The Talk Office is a coaching business where we coach on life and on relationship. Now, I will always tell you, coaching is not counseling. Coaching is not trying to fix you, trying to give you magical ways for you to become that person that you want to become. No, coaching is just having a friend, having somebody that listens to you, having somebody that can point you to directions that you never thought existed, having somebody that can tell you the pure and the honest truth about situations that your friends can tell you because they love you too much. Your parents can't tell you because they care about you too much. Your spiritual leaders might not be able to tell you because they don't want to break your faith. But here, we would tell you because we want you to get to your own goals. So it's first about your goals and of course about us working together for you to get there. That is what the Talk Office is about. Beyond just fixing, beyond wanting you to reach your goal, beyond anything else, we also want to create a safe community where you can open up about just anything at all. It could be a story, it could be an experience you have been hiding deep inside of you and you want to let it out. The Talk Office is for you. And I know we are going to have a great experience moving forward. Our Facebook group is open to everybody to join. Our Facebook pages is there. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are also on WhatsApp. So we are everywhere you can reach us. It could not be you who needs the Talk Office. It could be somebody you know. And you wouldn't know how much good you would have done to that person by me introducing them to the Talk Office. So thank you so much for staying through our session. I hope you have had the very best 30 minutes of your entire life. Well, that's a high expectation, but I hope it was worth your time. I would have loved to add anyone here, but let's just leave it this way for the first session. You can leave your comments, your thoughts on the comment section of the video, and I'm very, very sure I would get back to you. My name is Unjara Njama. I am the conversationalist, like I like to call myself. I am also your life and relationship coach. It doesn't matter what it is. Nobody's experience is better than yours. Nobody's experience is enough to validate or reduce yours. Everybody's experience is as important as the next. So until I come your way next time, stay safe, please. Abide by all the rules that the government are putting in place. I want you to be safe. Without you, there will be no point of this, okay? So thank you so much I'm so excited and so happy for staying with me throughout the session. Until I come your way next time, please and please and please don't leave without following, without liking, without commenting, without sharing your thoughts on the topic. It will mean a lot to me. So until I come your way next time, have yourself an amazing weekend. Bye.